Hi, Empress Justice here, and welcome to a special Aquarius Rahu Leo Ketu axis reading for, hold on, Sage. This is for Mula, Purva Ashada, and Uttara Ashada. Now, this is going to be a reading specifically for the next year and a half for all my Sagis out there. The Aquarius Rahu and Leo Ketu nodal axis, that is Aquarius North Node and Leo South Node, is going to be taking place from yesterday, the 29th of May 2025, to the 26th of November 2026. This particular reading for you is going to be for the next year and a half, okay, as it is for all signs. So as for all signs, I'm not going to rush through this, Sagittarius, because there's too much to get through. I'm not going to rush through this. I'm going to take my sweet time, because for the next year and a half, it deserves that kind of attention, okay? So let's get to it, all right? So first off, I'm going to read your tarot cards, and then I'm going to read your oracle cards that you've gotten, okay? So for the tarot cards, we've got the Ace of Swords from the Thoth Tarot. We've got the Seven of Cups from Cats Rule the World Tarot. Got the King of Swords from the Dragon Tarot. And we've got the Nine of Wands from the Sugar Skull Tarot deck. Okay. Now, what I'm going to see what I can get from this, and then I'm going to let you know. Yeah. Okay. So, now, this is real, like Sagittarius, this is real who the boss be energy. Is this that girl still on? Yeah, she is. Okay. This is real who the boss be energy. Not gonna lie, the boss is you, all right? Because it's one thing for you to tell the truth, and it's one thing for you to be honest, but that honesty has given you complete control over your situation. The irony is that there is someone else who is attempting to control your situation, someone else who is attempting to, like to stem the tide and prevent so-called chaos. Like, this person is an idiot because they think that they're preventing chaos by attempting to prevent you from speaking the truth. But what they've actually done is they've expanded your reach of control. And this is the thing. You weren't looking for that. You weren't looking to be in control of anyone else or in control of your environment. All you wanted to do was tell the truth. A lot of you Sagittarians out there, sorry, I was reading for Aquarians earlier. A lot of you Sagittarians, all you wanted to do was tell the truth. That's all you wanted. You weren't trying to do anything else. But because you were honest and because you were truthful, now you're in a position of control that you would never have been if people would have just accepted it and stopped trying to control everything and stopped trying to lie and stopped trying to get away with things, right? Sagittarius, you would not be in this incredibly powerful position if people weren't trying to rob power from you. That's the truth, right? Now, with the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Wands, just because you are in a certain position of power in this case, it doesn't actually mean that things are going to be plain sailing for you for the next year and a half, I'm sorry to say. When it comes to this, I feel like there's a sense of aimlessness still. There is a sense of aimlessness still. Like, even with you being as honest as possible, even with you actually knowing what you want, with you, it's not knowing what you want that's a problem. Nobody's asked you the right questions yet. Nobody's come along with like something to spark your imagination yet. So it's like you know what to do, but it's like for the next year and a half, it's figuring out how. And yeah, I feel like that's where you're at. I feel like you have mastery over your mental space in a way that other people didn't anticipate. But it's still like, because you're so logical and you're so conceptual, it's like you can't see a way forward. You know where you want to be, but it's like, which bus do I take? Which train do I take? You know, which road do I walk down? It's that type of shit, right? You know the journey that you want to be on. You know the destiny that you're trying to get to, but the mode of transportation and the route in getting there, that's what's eluding you. And it's going to be spending like the next year and a half trying to figure out not where you want to be, but how you're going to get there. How you're going to get there. And there are clues in the houses as well, but I'll get to that in a minute. So for you, we've got the 9 of Wands, power. Oh, power, Sag. Power, power. Let me tell you something, right? Again, it's because you've been honest and because you've told the truth and because you've stood on your square, Sag, that it's just, oh, listen, usually this means like defending yourself well, but defending yourself from a position of stress. There is some stress there, but when I hold this card in my hand, I see a lot of power. I see somebody who's been through a lot, but they've managed to transmute it into something that they can use. They've taken the trauma and they've become incredibly powerful because of it. The trauma that some of you went through was supposed to make you malleable. It was supposed to make you fold, but it didn't actually do that. It did the opposite. It didn't harden you per se, but it made you more resourceful. It made you more adaptable. It made you better able at navigating everything around you. And as a result, people are not entirely sure what to do. They're not entirely sure what to do in order to stop you from, in order to stop you from being you. And for the next year and a half, that's the vibe from a lot of other people who are not on your side at the moment. That's the vibe from them. They don't know what to do to maintain control, right? So, yeah, it's not an easy year and a half for you, Sagittarius. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy, but you are very, very strong and you're going to handle this really, really well. Remember, your second house is Capricorn. Capricorn is a sign of worst case scenarios, planning ahead, arguing with success. So the more things go wrong around you is actually the more powerful you will become, because again, people don't learn their lesson when it comes to you. And I don't know why that is, but they just don't. So it's like, yeah, they don't learn their lesson, babe. But I feel like at the end of, you're gonna be very powerful at the end of this. So yeah, for you, for the oracle cards, I've got the thimble, which is between the world's oracle deck, and Saraswati, the arts, which is the goddess oracle deck. Okay, and it says express yourself through creative activities. You see, you're acting all confused as to whether or not, like, oh, where should I go next? Like like Sag, you know exactly what to do, and you're playing games out here. You know that, like, the key to you moving forward and getting to the destination you want to get to is in your creative expression. You know that. I don't know why you're playing. And especially not for a year and a half. Are you serious? Get creating. I don't care what your creative talent is. I don't care how many of them you do. Get your creativity out there. Make sure your creativity is honed. That's going to be the first step in you reaching your destination, at least the first step. And with thimble, yeah, I'm going to get to that in a second. Because I've got to read the notes for you guys, right? So first off, for your normal notes, we've got being afraid of someone, success in career, what did I say, Sag? What did I say? Success in career, success in legal affairs. Because what did I say, Sag? What did I say? Okay. Burning the candle at both ends. Creative endeavors, creative freedom, and creative self-expression. And when it comes to this, it talks about ensuring proper investment and compensation for the work that you do. So not only are you supposed to create yourself expressively, but you're also supposed to make sure you get paid for it. I'm sorry that there are not more satisfactory answers to your question, Sag, but that's what you're left with. All right. And it's up to you to utilize that to your advantage. Now let's see. Hold on. With this thimble right here. Yeah, hang on. Thimble. Yeah. Yeah. Ensuring you're properly compensated. I know what I wanted to talk about, the number 11. The number 11 is a master number. It's the number of, okay, so let's say the 44 builds the world. Number 33 builds the rules within that world. Number 22 builds the temples and the houses. And number 11 is the one that manages everything. So you are the one to manage your own vision and to add brilliance to whatever already exists. That is your role. Okay? And that is the purpose of your creativity. Your role is the type that is compensated. Your role is the type that is invested in. That's your role. Your role is to ensure that the worlds that other people create keep ticking over. And because your role, Sag, is so important, you want to make sure you go to places where you're appreciated, where you're putting work in and getting wealth out. And for creative types is especially important because a lot of people take the piss with creatives, especially now with the advent of AI. Especially with the advent of AI, like a lot of people use AI, a lot of small businesses use AI. I use AI myself, even though I'm not a small business. Like I get that, but like AI, with the advent of AI, creatives now more than ever are finding themselves up against the wall when it comes to earning potential. And it was already bad before because a lot of creatives would put blood, sweat, and tears into the music that they create, or into the art that they create, or into the books that they create, put their blood, sweat, and tears in there. And, next thing you know, some other like small businesses will come along, or even big businesses will come along and say, oh, we can add some exposure, give you some exposure for free, but you've got to give us your talent for free, and you're getting a raw end of the deal. So right now it's about making sure that you have like a safety net creatively, and making sure also that you are properly paid for the work that you do. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pull some Rider-Waite cards yet. I've got to read the rest of the notes. Sorry. Yeah. So now that lecture's over, going to read the rest of the cards for you. All right. All the rest of the notes. Now, for the rest of the notes, we've got that is your more important notes, right? We've got new beginning, picking up the pieces, getting justice. I kept telling you, Sag, they're gonna mess with you and find out the hard way. You are not to be messed with, all right? New beginning, picking up the pieces, getting justice, wall of opinion, standing out, winning an argument, mind over matter, and standing your ground. You are an incredible, like some of you Saggies, you are incredible advocates for yourselves. And the way your advocacy is skilled and determined, that's going to be revealed over the next year and a half. But the advocacy thing for yourself is separate from the creative stuff. The creative stuff is something that you use to keep your mental health above water. The advocacy is going to be for something else. But then the advocacy for something else, off the back of that, it will give you more confidence to get what you deserve in the creative field. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You know what I mean? It's not an easy year and a half for you, but it is fruitful. And you are going to get a lot out of it. One thing I will need you to do, though, is for the notes, I will need you to see these as signposts more than anything else, right? But yeah, you need to stop acting confused and like you don't know what time it is, okay? In fact, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to make a decision for you, Sag, out of these cards. So where is the direction that Sag needs to go in? What's this? This is food. Nourishment. Hang on a minute. Let's see that. Hang on a sec. Yeah, hang on a second. I need to see the cats, the notes for the cats, yeah? Just to see what I've just picked for you. Oh, all right. Yeah, this is a time of multiple, oh, shit. That was food I just picked for you. This is a time of multiple opportunities, exciting opportunities that could lead to greater happiness. Perhaps a new love interest is proving a temptation, or there are creative projects or new spiritual paths to be explored, but in which direction should you go? You must look within, choose wisely, and then start the work necessary to realize your goals. So I chose that for you, Sag. That's the ready-made food. That when it comes to your creativity, you will get inspiration coming from above. You will get inspiration coming from above. Whatever inspiration comes from above, that's what you utilize. Okay? That's what you utilize. And the creative expression that you're going to be asked to express, it might not feel that practical in the moment, but you've got to have faith. Yeah? Now, I'm laughing because this particular card that I'm picking from the Rider-Waite, I picked this before for Aquarius, for another sign. Okay, for fuck's sake. For fuck's sake, Sag. Got another Nine of Wands here. So Nine of Wands is an important feature. That's the third card I pulled for you. Goodness sake. Okay, Ten of Wands, yeah. And then Ace of Pentacles. That's a great sign. That's a really good sign. Do I need to pick another one for Sage? Two more. They're saying two more. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So the reason why I acted like that, like forgive me for that, but the reason I acted like this is because I got the Two of Cups and the Eight of Wands. Now, there are only 78 like tarot cards in the deck. So I'm not supposed to get over the top about these two, but the reason why I was giggling so much is because I got these exact cards from a different Rider-Waite deck for another sign. It's Aquarius. I'm not supposed to say that. Cross watch with Aquarius and you'll see what I'm talking about. And the reason why I'm telling you what the sign is because some of you Sagittarians might have a relationship with some Aquarians, might be engaged, might be, yeah, you might actually be connecting with some Aquarians here. So that's why I'm saying like check Aquarius, because there are those of you who might be in relationships with Aquarius and they're on a similar journey. They're on a journey of, finding love in order to find what they're good at. But it's like with you, Sag, it's a little bit different because you find both at the same time. Okay, I'm being told no. Why no? Oh shit, it's actually the same for you. That's why no. Okay, so I've got to go into your houses now. And this is important because the ninth house, which is where your Leo Ketu is not just the house of your father or fortune or things like that. It's also the house of your second spouse, the second love of your life. So with Aquarius, where Leo Ketu was, it was in the seventh house with the first love of their lives, with their first spouse. The ninth house, as well as long-term fortune and your father and your higher education, which is very important here, by the way. It also represents the second love of your life. Like I said, there are some of you Sagittarians that might be, you could be Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius sun, Sagittarius ascendant, and the other person could be an Aquarius, what I call it there, an Aquarius native, an Aquarius moon, Aquarius sun, or Aquarius ascendant, right? But it's like you and them are on the same trajectory, but where you're more experienced in love matters, the Aquarius person might not be as experienced as you. And they don't have to be an Aquarius. It could be somebody who is, because both Sag and Aquarius like people from different backgrounds, right? Like people from diverse backgrounds. It could reflect somebody who is a different background to you, right? But they find home with you as a person, okay? And it's through you finding love and through you like really connecting with love that you're already deeply entrenched with, that you find your spark. And I feel like maybe that's what you're looking for, Sag. Maybe you're looking for the same thing that Aquarius is looking for, but that is less seasoned than you in, technically, or the Aquarius personality. Maybe what you're really looking for is sorry, I'm a bit distracted. Maybe what you're looking for, Sag, is love. Maybe that's why you're stalling. But again, creativity is going to come flowing in from spirit, not necessarily from this person, because this person can't teach you anything you don't already know, right? But the creativity is going to come from spirit, and the love that you gain from this less experienced person is going to reinforce what you manifest through your creativity. And with that, yeah, you're going to come face to face with things that you enjoy. You're going to do things that you love to do. But unlike Aquarius, it's not going to be an easy road. You have to defend it. And you will defend it. You'll defend it beautifully. You'll defend it. Sorry, I knew it. I was just distracted by something. You will defend it beautifully and capably. Yes, you will. It's going to be hard work. But it's at that moment where that hard work is. It's at that moment that's when the financial rewards start to come in, right? But then comes this. The happier that you get, Sag, remember, Capricorn is in your second house. The happier you get and the happier things are, is the more you start to doubt them. Again, don't see your logic as saying you shouldn't be happy or you shouldn't be proud of what you've done. See it as a question and not an answer. If you have doubts, see them as questions and not answers. Don't see them as some definitive answer that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. Instead, sorry, I've got to fix this sage. Instead, see it as a way for you to answer the questions of your intuition. Okay? That's how you have to see it. And, you know, yeah, it's like, yeah. What I'm very pleased to say is that this doesn't actually mean that something bad is going to happen. It just means that when good things happen, you're already fearing the worst because it's like you're already foreseeing the pitfalls. But again, those are questions, not answers. And all those doubts are doing are ensuring that you will be able to protect what you're creating. Okay. And the last card that I got for you, Sage, is your card, baby. Hang on. It's the 3 of Wands, right? Yeah. Because after you go through that period of like doubting and all the rest of it, it's kind of typical for you, Sag, to start thinking of the positives. Once you let yourself get to that level of doubt and of plan Bs and what ifs, that's when things start to pick up mentally. And that's when you'll start to be like, okay, now I understand how to move forward now that I've asked these questions. So the year and a half that's coming, it's likely to be quite stressful. It's likely to be, it's likely to be quite stressful and quite overwhelming for you, but you will prevail. And I'm not going to hold you. You're going to prevail. And when it comes to your houses, the 9th house, Leo Ketu is going to be hitting your 9th house. In order for you to realize the desires of the 3rd house, which is a better community to be in, better people to be around you, a more distilled relationship with your extended family and with your neighbors, in order to realize all that, and also in order to realize your expertise in earnest, you've got to go back to your 9th house. You've got to venture out to venture in. And then on top of that, it's also about the second love of your life or your second spouse. Venture out to venture in. And once you do that, your community will improve. Your expertise will improve. Your relationships with your extended community will improve. Your relationship to your past will improve. 3rd house. All right. So yeah, that was for my beautiful Sage. That was for Mula, Purva Ashada, and Uttara Ashada. I have been Empress Justice. And this has been a special reading for the Aquarius Rahu, Leo Ketu nodal axis from the 29th of May 2025. And I will see you in the next reading. Peace and blessings. Bye bye, my darling.